Hi, I'm Scott Samuel here at the Culinary Institute of America at Greystone in Napa Valley. Today I'm going to show you how to make a vegetarian chili. It's one of my favorite chilies. It's incorporating black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, and a variety of vegetables. And it's very simple to make, very tasty, and goes great with cornbread. So let's take a look at the ingredients. We are going to use onion family of onion and garlic. We're going to use serrano pepper and red pepper. That's going to be the beginning. So let's get going with that. So I'm turning my pot on about medium-high heat. I want to get some nice color here and extract a lot of the moisture and basically kill the raw flavor of all of these vegetables here. So onions, garlic, and serrano pepper that's chopped. And some red pepper that's chopped. All right, so we'll cook that for about, 5 or 8 minutes, just get a bit of color. Once this has some color in the base of it, we are going to add our corn and our zucchini. And then we're going to add our beans, and I have black beans, kidney beans, and pinto beans, some tomato puree, and I've made a roasted red pepper puree. So you can either roast your own peppers like this, which I've done over a flame, and then we can proceed to just wipe the skin off of it. This is a method we do for roasted red pepper. And then we could chop it or puree it in a blender. This is adding some body and some depth to the chili. I'm choosing to use canned beans today because they're a lot easier to work with in terms of versatility in the high school environment. But we could also do the dry bean method of cooking. So one thing I wanted to show you about when we're doing our peppers is that we're going to be dicing peppers. We want to take these ribs out because of their flavor. They don't have much flavor. And then just a simple dice on the red pepper. I do the skin side down. I'll just add this to our chili base. And I like to add a pinch of salt in the beginning of adding the vegetables so it draws out the moisture and it actually helps with the evaporation of the moisture and caramelization of the vegetable. All right, this is what it should look like. The vegetables are releasing a lot of their moisture. Sizzling here, getting some nice color. I'm going to go ahead and add my zucchini and my corn. And if you have fresh corn and corn on the cob, it's easy to do, or you can use frozen kernels. But if I'm doing corn on the cob, I'm going to take the kernels off the cob with the cob on the board. All right, we'll cook this down for about 5 minutes, get a little bit more color with the vegetables we've just added. First thing we're going to use will be chili powder. I have some cumin, some ground coriander, some cayenne for just a little bit of heat, some garlic powder, and then the secret ingredient here is a little bit of cocoa. So about a teaspoon of dried cocoa kind of livens it up and enriches it. You know, we don't have any meat in here, so the cocoa actually adds a little sense of umami to it, which would be actually coming from the beef. Let's add all of our spices. All right, now I'm going to add the 3 different types of beans that I've actually just drained and rinsed so that I actually rinse off some of the sodium. Kidney beans, pinto beans, and black beans. And I'm adding a tomato puree, just a tomato puree out of the can. I'm adding a few cups of vegetable stock. And I spoke earlier of the roasted red pepper puree. So roasted red pepper is pureed in a blender. This is going to add some depth and a little bit of texture to our soup. So our chili's had a chance to cook down for about 30-40 minutes, and it smells great, it looks great, and it's thickened up a little bit. So I think it's ready to serve. The last thing I want to do at the very last second will be to add some chopped cilantro. And you see I have some stems here, that's fine. The stems have a lot of flavor. but this is going to give it a last second punch of bright, fresh flavor. So chopped cilantro and a little pinch of pepper. All right, so this is great. It can be done ahead of time to this point and cooled and served within a couple days. It's vegetarian completely. It's also gluten-free. There we go, our vegetarian chili with black beans, pinto beans, and kidney beans. Enjoy.